breakfast puppies?
This podcast contains adult language and content and is meant for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to the Glitterbois. Oh, yes.
Going around trying to do my holiday shopping, and I'm like, I'm gonna get some of the things I love. I'm gonna visit some of my friendly local game stores. You know, they've been friendly to us in the past, and see what's out there. And so I wander into Guardian Games, and I'm like, wow, that's an awful lot of game tables. Wow, they moved everything again? All right, well, cool. I guess I'll ask one of these kids where the RPGs are, because looking around, well, I see that the corner of Warhammer, because that's a whole corner, and that's as it should be. And then I see a lot of board games here. Where's the RPGs? Is this a game store? Where's the RPGs? Huddled in the center, surrounded by great monolith-like towers of Settlers of Catan, Warhammer, and the terrifying edifice that is Magic the Gathering, huddles the last three tiny little like half-size shelves of RPGs in Guardian Games. One of those shelves is Dungeons and Dragons 5.0.
Yep.
Half of the other shelf is
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. Mm-hmm. The other side of that is Star Wars. And the other side of that is 500 versions of Kids on Bikes or Anime Big Eye. Like really, really, really niche stuff. There is no Battletech. There was no Palladium books. There was one copy of the core new edition of Shadowrun, and that's it. I went over to look for the miniatures, maybe because Battletech is a miniature thing. I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's just Magic the Gathering and D&D here. Fine. I go to Red Castle, up the road near my house. Same exact thing, down to the cafe inside to keep your gamers well fed, which, is nice, but, we order pizzas. So I didn't understand that. But so I went to Portland Game Store, exactly the same. I went to all of them. We are seeing the great dumbing down of our hobby. This almost feels slightly intentional. Have you experienced anything like this?
I haven't been into Guardian Games in over a year, yeah. And the last time that I was there, the way I remember it being set up is you walked in, and okay, dear listener, if you are not familiar with Guardian Games, it is a huge place. It is one of the largest game stores on the West Coast. It's here in Portland, Oregon. They have an enormous space. Anyway, you walk in through the, I think, quadruple doors, and there are laid out just a few steps in front of you, several tables with the current deals or the current things that rotate that they promote. And then from my memory, behind that were 6.
That's all gone.
Full shelves. Again, about chest height shelves that were lined front and back in 2 rows of 3 with RPG stuff. Now, back in that time, over a year ago, they had a lot of Palladium stuff, and they had a lot of other stuff. I remember they had a lot of the Warhammer 4th edition stuff, and they had a lot of the Shadowrun stuff, and it seems like they have downsized because, unfortunately, this vast display that I'm describing is a minuscule pittance compared to what they had in the old days, which was like half again as tall as a man, shelves multiple aisles long. Just
you needed a step stool to get to the top of these shelves, just packed full of every role-playing game you could imagine. It was glorious.
Really obscure stuff, some old weird stuff, box sets of this, box sets of that, games that you've never heard of.
Used games on consignment.
Yeah. And they cleared all of that out. They have new owners now. So the previous owner sold it, and there's another game store here, Rainy Day Games.
Yep.
Was also sold to the same people. So now the two biggest stores in their respective areas are owned by the same company.
And everyone else is kind of following the suit.
Magic sells. That's what they all make their money off of. Like, I remember the previous owner of Guardian. We had several drunken adventures. Anyway, I remember they were telling me about why. No, I'd asked, like, you have all of these games here. Why don't we get like more exposure to them? And they were like, they don't really sell.
And there's the crux right there.
People come in for Magic, and we can have a Magic night, and Magic gets, thousands of dollars an evening, and we can have another T whatever. We can have that edition that I don't want to talk about, and that will bring lots of people in. But you do something like a 7th Sea night, and it's crickets.
Yeah.
Shadowrun, you might get a table.
Yeah. Here is me walking back on everything I just, the disappointment in my voice. Your friendly local gaming store has never been about making money. Like, that's why they change hands. That's why they have like maybe a 10-year lifespan before they go under and start just selling them on eBay. That little place run by that guy you knew who was pretty cool, that doesn't have a lifespan. That doesn't live very long. And to lust after it nostalgically, we'll all do it, but it's just not survivable.
It's not.
So here's the problem. How do we get the games we want back into the places we want? Well, we buy them there, or we just accept that they're not going there and we buy from the place. But the problem is that has such a limited lifetime, because that is the hub. It's where people find the new game.
I mean, I don't think it is anymore. I think it was a long time ago. I remember my really shitty friend, my ULGS, unfriendly local game store in my hometown of Mobile, Alabama, was, all the books smelled like cigarettes, and the owner clearly didn't want you there, but it was still the hub. That was where I would go in and find, random things, because the owner had interesting gaming tastes. I'll give him that, even though he was a chain smoker, and that's gross.
I think that in order to find, we're still a physical primate. You have to see the cover has to grab you. You pick it up, and then you go searching. The thing is that when someone says role-playing game, 10 pages of 5th edition pop up. I went to each of these websites. They're pulled up right now for Red Castle, for Guardians, and for the Portland Game Store. On the Google, on each of them, on the Google result, role-playing games doesn't even appear. You see Magic the Gathering, Star Wars, D&D, and in some of them Pathfinder, which is, as we all know, is a D&D 3.5 clone.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell a bitch story here. I might cut
Let's
this
get
later.
your bitch story.
I might not. And it's about that second place you mentioned, Red Castle.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, I was doing some play tests for one of the games that I was running that I would eventually publish, and that game is called Moto Bushido. I was doing play tests for that, and I had a weekly reservation at Red Castle. It was like a Sunday afternoon reservation for one of their rooms. And we show up there one day, and there's people in there in the room. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, we were a few minutes early. We'll wait for them to finish. And then they didn't. And I finally went and talked to the ladies, like, why? What happened? They're like, oh, yeah, we gave your reservation away to the Pathfinder Society because they pay more money. They buy more books here. So sorry, we gave it to them. I was like, I put money down on this. Here, then they refunded me money. So whatever. But they just didn't tell me. They didn't call me. Didn't email me. They just gave it away. And that was my second bad experience with them. And that was the experience that made me swear off of them forever. But my first one, ties back into things that we're talking about right now. I go to the store, I pick up my I look around on the shelves. I find a book that I've been looking for. I don't even remember what a book. It was a Warhammer fucking something. I don't know. I was the RPG. Third edition was in the third edition of Warhammer era. So I found this book. I remember exactly what it was. It was the Warhammer Creature Guide hardback. So I went and got it and brought it up to the table, to the front desk. And there was this one person behind it, and he was not paying any attention to me whatsoever. Just a few feet away, he was just leaning over the counter, talking to his buddy about magic. And I said, "Hey, can I buy this?" He's like, "Excuse me, I'm having a conversation here."
The fuck?
So I just threw it across, walked out the store. But I still came back again because Guardian didn't have rentable rooms at the time, and we wanted to play somewhere that wasn't my house. And fuck that place. I'm sorry, Red Castle. Oh man, I didn't really want to go super negative here, but
you know what's interesting is I'm on their website right now. Their whole gig, Red Castle, is inclusive. Like they have people non-binary working there. They try and be inclusive. But Guardian is doing the same thing. Everyone is mouthing how diverse they are, but isn't that interesting that while they're doing that with their employees, their product has become so monolithic, so monoculture. And I'm not trying to make a false equivalency. One is absolutely not created to the other. One is laudable and one is annoying. But I don't like that they're trying to promote their culture without the products. Like it's supposed to be, you are supposed to have options. There is a very Terry Pratchett version of a bookstore that lives in my head with windy areas and forgotten areas where no one's been here. Look at this book. What is this? And maybe it doesn't sell, but it is part of an old term, which I think we as a culture have lost. Things we do for the gaiety of nations that just make things better. And it's all become about the bottom line. And I get it, man. We are coming out of a goddamn pandemic. You have to make money to stay open. I understand that. But at the same time, you threw away the big shelves with stuff on it. That stuff went somewhere. Where to go?
I think they had like a fire sale, or they gave a lot of it away, donations.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
So you mentioned about you have to have a place or something like that. I remember the exact words that you just said, because I was
we're touch and see people, that you have to see the thing to get inspired to go find it in an online area,
Let's get things down to, as the old folks call them, brass tacks. We've got gaming, which is role-playing games, RPGs, storytelling games, which are themselves a social endeavor. However, it is a social endeavor largely undertaken and championed by antisocial people, or people who are extremely socially awkward. That's at least how it was when we were young and growing up.
Not anymore, yeah.
It is not anymore, but hold on, we'll get to that.
Okay.
The tradition, the classical view of it is a lot of antisocial or socially awkward people wanting to engage in a social experiment or activity of storytelling, of a shared hallucination. Well, now we have much more technology than you and I had access to when we were in our budding young gamer age. We have the internet. We have Roll20. We have Reddit. We have all of these online places where these basement dwelling, and I say that with the term of infection because I'm in a basement right now.
As am I.
and for a long time I've lived in many basements, so I too am a basement dweller. Just so you know, we have these basement dwelling, socially awkward people who would like to game right now, or talk with gamers right now. They don't want to have to get up in a car or take public transportation across town to a store that they don't even know has what they want, but they can get it tomorrow on Amazon, or they can talk about it right now on Reddit with people that they don't even have to show their face to. They don't have to put on pants.
Please put on pants.
The internet has changed it. drastically, some ways for the better, some ways for the worst. I think that I applaud the game stores that still exist, that still even bother to have games on their shelf that are not made by WotC or Paizo. Because at least they're doing that much, and they don't even have to. That doesn't make them any money, but they still exist, and it's still there. And I thank them for that. I just wish it was more. I want the old days back. God damn it.
I just want to say something. If you're listening to this podcast and you're not wearing pants right now, I want you to stand as proud as an old Captain Morgan's commercial. I want you to stand up right now. Please don't post a picture or tag us in it. Just do it. And just let that fly for a moment.
You were thinking Captain Morgan's. I was thinking the Old Spice commercials. I want a horse with no pants.
So I want to see our stuff back in there, though. I see you and I as like, you know, some of the people who are very passionate about Palladium, and not only that, but like a lot of the old school games that are still being played right now. There are still people playing them, and so here's what I want, and here's what I would ask of people listening to us. Next time you're in your friendly local gaming store, just ask. Just ask if they have it. Because here's the thing that really bothered me, NPC, is when I went into Guardian Games, the biggest hub of it in the Portland metro area in the great state of Oregon, which is, you know, I suppose like 1/4 of the west coast of the United States of America. California gets 2 because it's long.
Yeah.
I went in and I said, hey, so where's, sorry, I don't know if that came through. Where's the Palladium books? Where's Riffs? And the kid looked at me blankly. Palladium books, is that a trading card game? And I said, no, it's not. In fact, it's, and you know, I went through what it was. And, I said, you know, it's kind of like, it's magic and dragons and big mecha suits and, you know, it's post-apocalyptic. And she said, so is it like Star Wars? I said, no, it is not like Star Wars.
I mean, Phase World kind of is.
I mean, yeah, to be fair. Listen to our last episode. But I was like, no, it's not. And she asked the person that was in charge of her little section of the store, because it is a big store, and they hadn't heard of it either. It was there a year ago. Yeah. It is so far removed. This fantastic system is so far removed from what the kids are into right now. And that's where I feel like we need to work. You and I personally need to work harder to bring them around to something that is so much better than fucking D&D 5th edition. Wait, next year it'll be 6th edition. You get to buy all the books again. Fuck that noise.
No, it's one D&D or whatever they're, I don't know.
Are they moving?
No, it's been called one D&D, ONE, one D&D. Mm-hmm. That's what the new edition has been called. I mean, it's probably changed since I kept up with it, but that's what it was when they started testing it. And fuck. Yeah.
Well, the Xbox One was also supposed to be a 20-year system, so I'll believe it when I see it, because they're going to have to sell Driz to us again in 10 years, so.
Fuck, man. I'm
sick of it. And you should be. We should all be sick of this.
Here's the thing. The problem that I see is, well, okay, no, this isn't a problem. This is just the way things are. Whether it's a problem depends upon, are we old and in wheelchairs and wearing diapers right now? And that is, gamers.
Don't kink shame me, dude. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Gamers often today don't learn about games from the game store because they only go to the game store to play Magic. They learn about games from Reddit. They learn about games from YouTube, from watching streamers play the games, from Will Wheaton and his channel putting a lot of games out there. There's a lot of good games that didn't have people playing them that got exposure because somebody famous played it and talked about it. Matt Mercer, Critical Role, and all of them, they are in some ways largely responsible for the popularity of D&D 5e. However, you've got podcasts like The Adventure Zone. Those fellas started with D&D 5e, but then they shifted to other games. And because they picked up other games, those games have started getting popularity and discussion. So I think that by putting the names of games that you like out there and showcasing them and bringing positive attention to them, we can get new players. We've had new players start with Palladium because they listen to our show.
I know, and I love seeing those. Like, that makes me happy, but like, it really shocked me because this year in Portland, I can't find a copy of a Palladium book. They are all happy to order it for me, which I'm giving serious consideration to having them do.
Have you checked Powell's?
Yes, I have. They do have their used there. But I mean, that's a bookstore, not a friendly local. If it doesn't have Mountain Dew somewhere in the store or a table that I can game at, it's not a friendly local gaming store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Powell's is great for that. You're right.
But D&D has organized play. They have the Adventures League. That brings people into locations because there's an organized structure to it. There's an expected flow. And, you know, people who join into it generally know what they're going to get out of it. And it's a big draw. You go to conventions now and there's like an Adventurers League area.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like Palladium has game ambassadors as well. But I don't think I've ever seen one.
I don't either.
Isn't Buckley one?
Buckley, I think, is one. He's in the Dalles.
But he lives in the Dalles. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't want to see this become an old person game. It doesn't need to be. It is so much better.
I think it's not going to.
Okay.
And I'm saying this. I'm trying to remove the rose-colored glasses and put on the shroud of reality. And I believe people like Sean, who we had on our interview a couple episodes ago, I believe that with their attitude and their inspiration and their ideas, that they can bring some level of glory and attention back to the original system. I think the future's hesitantly bright for Palladium.
Okay.
Now, Savage Rifts has brought new people as well.
There's no Savage Worlds in any of those stores either.
I know. That's
right. I mean, there's no Fate. There's none of the hotness.
Yeah. There used to be so much Savage Worlds at Guardian Games. The hear that it's all gone is sad. Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Here's something I do want to call out. I'm sorry, this is going back into the negative. Some Savage Rifts players should be ashamed of themselves for the negative shade that you are throwing at Palladium. I get.
Wait, what?
Oh, God. It's okay.
I don't pay attention to this shit. Tell me.
The Kickstarter, I was doing my hardest to hold back and just not be like, this isn't my fight. I'm just, I'm going to let Sean take care of it. This is my fight. But like,
no, if people are being trolly, hit them back.
There were trolls pledging $1 to the Kickstarter for Titan just so they could tell everybody how great the Savage World system was and how shitty the Palladium system was. And I'm like, that is a terrible mentality. Like,
what the actual crap?
Yeah.
One doesn't take away from the other.
So if you are one of those people, you should feel ashamed for yourself because there's no reason to go into someone else's space like that and be like, you know that thing you like? Yeah, it sucks. Because that's all you really did. And it was just...
And, I mean, if you're going to do that, pay $50. Be a fucking man about it, you know?
It lacked grace and character.
Yeah.
And you're a bad man, and you're also a friend of a bad man. That's what Xander tells me on the other podcast a lot. So.
This is a person of low breeding and terrible personal hygiene. I do not like them at all, I say.
So I'm gonna step down from that. But it's just I just can't get behind that.
Yeah.
It's like when you post about something on your Facebook or your Twitter or something, and then some fucking troll just comes along. Whoa, that shit sucks.
Well, actually,
fuck you, buddy. I don't care. Why you got to rain on my parade? Why you got to shit on my couch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 8 billion people on the planet. If you're one of the people who do that kind of thing, you're not helping the cause, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of thing. And I want to steer it back around though, because I really do want to solve this. I want to see something on the shelves. And I think Palladium should do something like some sort of outreach on this. Unless they're doing fine. I mean, maybe I'm being silly. Like maybe, you know, I know it's a smaller company than we all see in our heads, but I mean, if they're able to keep churning out books this way, and you know, there's enough people buying it, maybe this is mountains out of molehills. You know, maybe it's cool to have the secret knowledge of Palladium.
They still exist. There are still employees. Books still get made. I wouldn't even say that they're on a thin lifeline. They're not on life support. It doesn't seem like it. They're just, they need an influx of positivity. And there have been some down points that I think, as gaming culture should kind of move past and look to the future and be positive.
Yeah, I mean, has anyone eaten at Jack in the Box recently? Yeah, people died. Remember, there was an E. coli thing. They were the devil for a while. Just, you know, get over it. Things happen. You know?
Kids got brain amoebas from Disney World, but people still go there.
Yeah, I mean, comparatively.
Yeah.
Let's look at this. And that's not even like that's such a bullshit argument. You know, I realize the logical fallacy I just gave. But the point is that we do have such this huge catalog of such an amazing game. And I want to see it back in my friendly local gaming store. So I would encourage folks to not only buy directly from Palladium this holiday season, which you might still be able to do. I'm not sure how far this is going out. But,
well, historically, the grab bags have been offered throughout the entire month of December. And I believe in past years, he has carried it forward into the first week of January. That can't be relied upon. This episode should launch right about mid-December. So you should still have time to order it. However, you will be past the point where you can order it and it be guaranteed to arrive before Christmas, if that's your thing. Personally, I don't care. I'm going to order it and it will arrive when it arrives, like everything else that I order from the internet.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm being very negative here, but it was just kind of a culture shock moment. I kind of feel like the old man in the 1920s going, I'll never trust this newfangled internal combustion engine. Give me a good old fashioned buggy every day. But I've seen this happen in a lot of adjacent spaces. I've seen Nabisco buy up everything that isn't a cookie. And, you know, I've seen this corporate glomming on to everything and replacement of their own product as the only source for this thing. Nestle, Nabisco, all one company. You get your water, you get your candy, you get your baking soda. It's all one thing. D&D, all one thing. No. No. This is the pre-packaged, and they will sell it to you over and over and over again, with more constipated people doing more constipated leaps. And I hate to see this being treated as the norm, because not to go on an old man rant about halcyon days where we had all these options, but it wasn't so long ago. It was 1 year ago where we had options. Yeah. And now you can play Warhammer, Star Wars, Pathfinder, D&D.
Yeah.
That's your tabletop role-playing games. There will be a couple others hidden away. There is one that looks very interesting to me called it looks like is a post-apocalyptic Mork and Gork looking thing. Morkborg RPG.
Oh,
the Book of Misery. That looks fun to me.
Well, okay.
But that's like it. That's all they have. And I just don't get it. And I don't think we should tolerate it. Like ask for the games.
Yeah, do it. Next time you go to Guardian, be like, hey, where's the Palladium stuff? Hey, I want to get that. I want to order Beyond the Supernatural Creature feature, just released by Kevin Siembieda at Palladium Books. I want to order Savage Rifts. Get some fucking Savage Worlds back on the shelves. I want to get Palladium Fantasy. Can you order me one of those special hardback editions that they got coming out? I know they're out there. Can you order one for me? You might end up paying a little bit more for it, but if you can afford it and you want to make a statement, make that statement.
Yeah, I highly agree.
Yeah.
That is definitely the path to go. If you know an owner of a friendly local bookstore, you may want to encourage them to keep a section. You can have your Magic the Gathering. A shelf of books does not take up a lot. They're trying to make them into Apple stores where it's all lean and flow and there's feng shui. No, this is a bookstore. It's supposed to be crammed in as many as you can fit, as high as you can reach, and then a little higher.
And at least one cat.
And at least one cat. And that's me done on the lawn yelling at the clouds.
Look, Matthew, like me, we're Gen Xers. We're grumpy at the world. And I don't think we're going to get any less grumpy. That's why we should spend more time playing the games that we love and finding those
Agreed.
moments of joy with the people we love.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
Also, there seems to be a lot more people. So, I mean, that's going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to my unhinged ranting. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, go out and buy Palladium books. That was the shittiest commercial I've ever done in my life. Like if there was an infomercial, they'd be so mad at me right now. Somewhere there's a low-level film school director just crying into his hands over the way I presented all that. It's 2 positives and 1 negative, Matthew. 2 positives, 1 negative.
All right, folks. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Starships, magic, mystic martial arts, romance. All of these can be found in A Cloak of Blades by Isaac Scher. You might have heard my name before. I've done a lot of voiceover work for Breakfast Puppies, and I've recently released my first novel. It's available on Amazon as an ebook and paperback, and you can get it for free if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I do hope you'll support my work as you're supporting Breakfast Puppies, and it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Have a good one.
You've been listening to The Glitterbois, a Palladium Books fan podcast. Glitterbois, Rifts, the Megaverse, and all other such topics are the property of Kevin Siembieda and Palladium Books. Please buy all their stuff and help keep them in print and making more games. You can order directly at palladiumbooks.com, and their entire catalog is available digitally at Drive-Thru RPG as well. Our opening music is 8-Bit Bass and Lead by Furby Guy from freesound.org. This closing music is Caravana by Philip Gross, available at freemusicarchive.org. All sound effects used are self-made or acquired via Creative Commons Zero license. If you like what you have heard, find us on Twitter and Facebook as The Glitterbois. That's BOIS. And check us out online at breakfastpuppies.com/glitterbois. And also join us on the Breakfast Puppies Network Discord at breakfastpuppies.com/discord. And if you want to help us out, please spread the word and help us build a community. Thanks again for listening. We'll catch you next time.
I was in the bathroom a minute ago and I saw one of the remnants of the gear that we used for Thanksgiving. And it got me thinking, in a roundabout way, I have a great name for a shitty spaceship.
Okay.
The turkey bucket.
I suppose it's better than the turkey baster.